Can I trade crypto in my IRA? What stocks, ETFs, or companies should I be buying? What do I do if I'm afraid of choosing my investments altogether? These are all the most common questions we hear about investing the funds inside your IRA. An IRA can be a great investment vehicle. You can make a lot of money by deferring the taxes on your capital gains. But if you choose the wrong investments or make mistakes, you could also lose a lot of money. Oh, what to do? Hi, welcome back to Bright Wealth. My name's Scott McLean. I'm your host, and I'll be your instructor for today's lesson. As always, we are here to accelerate your financial success. In this episode of Bright Wealth, I'm going to break down stage number 3, investing the funds in your IRA, and I'm going to answer the most common questions that we receive. There's a lot to consider when making investments, including, but not limited to, your asset classes, your market sectors, the market capitalization, the research that you're doing, the region that you're investing in. All of this leads to the investments of your IRA. When it comes to asset classes, for example, you can put stocks into your IRA. You can also put bonds into your IRA. Another asset class that is common are ETFs, which are exchange-traded funds. In addition to that, many people put mutual funds, and they'll buy mutual funds for their IRA. And besides that, you'll most likely have cash or CDs, and those are the most common asset classes that you have in your IRA. We do get a lot of questions, can I put crypto in my IRA, or can I buy crypto with my IRA? Can I buy real estate? Can I buy gold? There are ways to do that, but that's not a traditional IRA functioning in the traditional way. There are rules and ways to do that, but there are also Congress and rules in Congress right now that might take those provisions away. So we're going to hang on and do a video on that after the end of the year. These are the 5 most common classes, asset classes that you can put in your IRA. In addition to asset classes, meaning the types of investments that you're putting in, you have the different market sectors that you can put into your IRA. One of the most common market sectors is energy, and that's the oil, the gas, solar, etc. So companies that are in oil or gas or solar fall into the energy sector, and sometimes that sector is doing better than other sectors. And so you might want to be looking at what sector or do I want to be putting into my IRA. Another one is physical materials. And with supply shortages, what would happen to the price of materials? What might happen to companies if they can't get their supplies? All of this is part of your consideration, things to take into consideration. Industrials, utilities, healthcare, finance is another common sector. You also have consumer staples, consumer discretionary, information technology, real estate, and a number of other sectors. That is the market sector. The market sector is a collection of different companies that all fit in that sector, and you then buy the individual stocks of those companies or the bonds of those companies or ETFs that hold those companies and put those into your IRA. In addition to that, you might be looking at the market capitalization of individual companies. The smaller the capitalization, typically the more volatile that company, and sometimes the more risky, but the better returns you could get. And the higher the capitalization, the more stable, well-established that company is. The different market caps are broken out into micro cap, which starts at the company's annual earnings between 50 million and 300 million. And then you move on to a small cap, which is 300 million to 2 billion. You move on to a mid-cap, if it sounds like mid-cap, between $2 billion and $10 billion. And then you move from a large cap from $10 billion to $200 billion. And anything above $200 billion is going to be your mega cap company. These days, I think we might even need a new category. I don't know if we're going to call it ultra mega cap, but maybe 200 billion to the $1 trillion company. But that's new. Right now, these are the market caps that you would be looking at in your IRA. And so the next step after figuring out what your investments are going to be and doing your research on these companies is to actually grow your IRA and monitor it and make adjustments to it over the years. So I hope you found value in today's video. Please follow and subscribe to the Bright Wealth YouTube channel. If you have any generalized questions, you can leave them in the comments below. We love answering those. If you have any specific questions about an IRA or your IRA for yourself, click the link below to schedule a one-on-one planning session with the Bright Advisor team. They're happy to meet with you. My name's Scott McLean, and as always, it's not what you make, it's what you do with what you make.